The number one killer of law enforcement personnel, as well as military and firefighters, is not knives, bombs, fires, guns. The number one killer is stress-related illness. My father very much served his country, but became a victim of his own service. So my goal was to create a system that would allow warriors to be able to function more effectively.
To be able to handle the force here in uppercut.
So how we train is going to be how our body responds. I found that the presence of stress in law enforcement personnel increased the number of injuries and illnesses that they suffered, despite their ability to respond more effectively to competitive anxiety. This is where the injuries usually start to erupt because exercise is performed completely distinct.
As if I'm hitting upwards, that gives you the rounding.
My life was steered in the direction of attempting to find out a way to mitigate stress that prevented injuries and eventually the stress that killed my father. My goal isn't to provide a different tactical skill. The main problem that we're facing is addressing shoulder and elbow injuries. So how we train is going to be how our body responds. If we train with our elbows out and our shoulders rotated in, that's where we're going to have the highest amount of stress. So let's come down. Let's do the 20 seconds of our quick warm-up, turning our hands in, and then as much as we can, continue to rotate our palms together as far as we can go. So if it starts here and we feel pain, go a little bit beyond the pain, and then squeeze the elbows locked. As long as the palm heels can stay down, we're gonna do 5 more repetitions for bulldog position to deal with the tension on the outside of the elbow, that tendonitis. Then switch, come all the way around. If we start here, that's fine. If there's a lot of excess tension on the inside of the elbow. The ultimate goal for me is to see the weight lifted from their nervous system, so they're no longer suffering from a baseline chronic pain which impedes their daily life. So now that we've removed all of the gum from the inside of the outside of the elbow, we now need to use our lats and our core to have our punching power to bring both arms in. If we start on a non-dominant grip, we're gonna lay our hand down flat, take our fist, and punch our fist onto our fingers, then wrap our hand across it. We're not doing a pistol grip, we're doing the muscle action that sets up for the pistol. Once we have it, we're just going to stay hands and knees, exhale, pull elbows in, and press back out. Elbows in, press back out. This will be our push-up for the day. If we do too much work, eventually the lats shut down and we only use shoulders. That's why we get the shoulder injuries, the rotator cuff injuries. We want to watch that there's no excess elbow pop. So both elbows have to rotate in, touch ribs, even if the back rounds, because that's the great part about this. Once our back rounds, then it's a core exercise to drive. I'm thankful that I get the opportunity to work with the men and women that I do. Pull elbows in and drive. Put both knees down. We're gonna do 5 quick repetitions, but we're gonna bring elbows straight down. So any type of fatigue in the muscle is gonna make us pop our elbows. We're gonna shift back to delts. These are so tiny that they fatigue fast. With our elbows pulled in, we do this final 5 repetitions. Pull the elbows in, turn the lats on fully, keep the lats firing for the rest of the day, then head out for your training. The police had a greater ability to respond to the stress of competition, but a significantly increased presence of injuries from training. This is a typical problem that you're going to face because of the occupational strength that you've already developed, that you can overpower the exercise. Elbows wide and popping. So that's just fast loading on the ligaments. It doesn't keep their pecs active and it turns off their core. Yes, I very much appreciate the fact that I can make them stronger, faster, safer in their job.
Injury prevention is extremely important to me as a SWAT team leader. If they haven't trained for specific movements and they haven't done a specific movement for a long time, they may just innocently injure themselves.
So you have super strong upper body, and that causes you to be able to handle the force here in upper body. So I'm using triceps and shoulders. Instead, pull the thumbs in, tuck the tailbone, and pull the elbows down to the core, so that we can use more of the corset to hold when we press out, which is gonna turn on the lats, instead of relying upon the shoulder girdle, which fatigues really fast. So what I want to do is I want to try just a step down, hand down, fist in place. Then without lifting the hips, lower the body over top of the elbow. Great. Now that is our obliques and our lats. Even bring the elbow in tighter into the belly button. Exactly. Now your core's turned on. The pistol push-up will give me entry into that exercise. Develop the platform for me to be able to hold it, and then I can exercise any way that I want. We increased in our academy length 6 repetitions average total, doing less total volume push-ups a different way. Removed all of the injuries and increased total repetitions when they did the test at the end of the academy by 6 repetitions over prior classes. Seeing the immediate impact of their ability to remove pain from their performance is a burden that, when lifted, allows them to have greater quality of life.